How's everybody doing out there? I hope everybody's doing good. Hope all is well. And again, we're back here for another episode here. So today's topic, or just what I want to get started with, is just want to talk about this NBA. Talk about All-Star Weekend. A lot of people getting on social media saying a lot of different things about the All-Star Weekend. I know Draymond Green, he went on a whole rant, which I agree with a lot of stuff he was saying. So, but he was he was talking a lot about how they did this tournament, a 4-team tournament, and one of the teams was like all of the rookies and basically the fresh, I think it was fresh shop, or I believe it was the rookies. It was either rookies team or sophomore team. I don't even remember now, but really, just getting down to it, it was players that shouldn't have been at the All-Star Weekend. So, and then we had a bunch of veterans that didn't even play. I know Giannis, he was already out. Luka was out. Anthony Davis, I know he's hurt. Ja Morant is out. Who else? There's a few other players out there, but then LeBron has showed up, and then at the last minute, LeBron decided or came up and said he had some soreness, so he was hurt, and he caught a lot of flack for that because people were thinking, well, you should have let somebody know sooner. Somebody could have took your spot. So, but it's just boiling down to that. They really not taking this weekend serious, and you got to think about it. Players make a lot more money than they used to. Yet it seems like they'd be less dedicated to the game and going to work every day. So I've been seeing it all throughout the season. It seems like players taking 1 or 2 days off, like every couple weeks. Players taking this day off, taking that. This player's questionable and not playing, not suiting up for one game, then they come back for the second game, or some not playing back to back. But it's crazy. And then, Draymond was using a reference of Kobe. That's a good example because, Kobe was all about the game. He never cheated the game. A man played 20 years, so he went into that low management and all of that stuff. And look at him. He made it 20 years in the league, playing in the league, and, pretty dominant, put up some big numbers during that time. Championships and all of that stuff. 5 chips. I was looking at what Draymond was saying, and he was saying that Kobe couldn't have been more right about today's NBA being accidental basketball. So what he was saying is that the NBA, you think about today, the NBA is a lot different. Teams are shooting a lot of threes and scoring a lot of points. And I think it was either Charles Barkley, Shaq, or Kenny Smith. I'm pretty sure it was Charles Barkley. And he was coming after Draymond. He said, well, it was your generation that messed it up. Kind of got the league on a, setback right now. Because they don't, All-Star Weekends, not all of that. All of this scoring, these three-pointers. So really he was taking shots at the Golden State Warriors because, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, and they won championships, shooting them three-pointers. And now you got all of these teams trying to shoot three-pointers. Nobody's really going in the paint anymore. So the game has changed. But what he was saying was, and Draymond Green is a defensive-minded player, but it's all what Kobe Bryant was saying was accidental basketball. It's all penetrating pitch. Bryant said in the interview, you make shots, or you either make the shot or you miss it. And Green was just basically saying Kobe couldn't have been more right, because think about it, it's not uncommon nowadays for the NBA teams to merely hand their top offensive players the ball and tell them to go to work and get a bucket. But with all of the skilled scorers that play in the league today, such as Kevin Durant, Luka, Jason Tatum, and we're talking these like forwards, they playing like guards basically. isolated basketball argument is just normalized and it's celebrated. For all of these big men out here shooting threes and you know doing one on or not one on ones, but and then oftentimes a star player may look to create a shot by penetrating, and if it's a good shot, if a good shot is available, the player may take it, but if not, the player may kick the ball out. So that like the in and out, get into the lane and then kick the ball out when the defense collapse and set up for a 3-point shot. There's a lot of teams in today's league that often don't make the adjustments on the offensive side of the ball. Instead of sticking with a certain modus or operation or play, whatever they drew up, regardless if it's working or not. Teams like Boston Celtics, they love to let it fly from 3-point range, averaging most 3-pointers attempted with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. But it's he's talking about the accidental basketball. He's talking about the 3-point shots. You make it, you miss it, and it's really no method to the madness if you think about it. So you shoot it and you miss it, but if you're taking the ball in the paint, it's a higher percentage shot. So maybe if the league could cut down on the accidental basketball, as Kobe Bryant put it, the NBA would see its ratings rise.
The thing about the triangle offense, which makes it so deadly, is that it gives you a structure. And within that structure, you have complete freedom. And so even though defensively, what it is, the sequence that we're executing, we have counters to it.
Counter to everything.
And we all know them. It's hard to beat that.
Yeah.
Phil can start out and say, we want to run center opposite. That's the sequence we want to start with. But now if you deny the wing on that center opposite, that plays off. Now we have counters that come around that.
Yeah.
So like these players now play accidental basketball. It drives me and Phil crazy because it's all penetrating pitch. You may make the shot, you may not. You have no idea who's going to be open or whatever. It's accidental basketball. We play basketball with purpose. If I got the ball, if Derek Fisher's on the wing, I'm at the top. I know by scouting reports that you guys like to deny the top.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Deny the top. I'll move up a little bit more, drag you out. Here comes Ori stepping in the hole. Catch it. Here I go back door. There's the drop. Off I go.
What they're getting at and what Draymond Green was saying is that, he's trying to defend like what they're trying to do here on All-Star Weekend. The numbers are down. The ratings are down. People don't want to go to All-Star Weekend. And then it's crazy because you were hearing people talking about this. All this 3-point shooting is kind of watering the game down. And I don't know if it was Mark Jackson or one of them. Mark Jackson, he had coached the Golden State Warriors for a while. And then, he had a nice little system. And then when Steve Kerr came in, I believe there was some change in the offense and they were just letting it fly, 3-pointers. And you got Steph Curry, but then you had Klay Thompson. So now that became the thing. Everybody go to the small ball, shoot threes, and now it's like fans are calling the game boring because you get a player coming down on a fast break, instead of taking it to the basket, dunk or whatever, he pulling up for 3. So it's a lot of that going on right now. They believe is causing the ratings to go down.
All-Star game in general needs a little revamping because it used to be competitive.
Yeah.
It used to be competitive. And fans want to see the best pickup game in the world. That's what this is. They don't want to see you running up and down and dunking and doing all this crazy. They want to see what happens when you get this collection of best basketball players on the planet and they play and they go head up against each other.
Man.
You guys play harder at a pickup game in UCLA.
For real.
And ain't billions of people watching.
For real.
Definitely do.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely do.
They got to turn
the All-Star game needs a little changing. I always love competing in them. I didn't lose many of them.
Nah,
me
you
and
was
CP
one,
used to talk
you
all
was
the
one
time.
of the ones. You took it serious.
Yeah, we went. I don't think me and CP, when we played together in the All-Star game, I don't think we've ever lost a game.
Yeah.
And we used to look at each other and say, okay.
Going serious. They don't want to play, we going to play.
Fourth quarter, let's go get it.
All right, so we got Draymond Green. He's talking about the rookies and the sophomores and this team, one of the fourth team in the tournament playing on Sunday. And so, this is all what Draymond was talking about, how he think what the NBA is trying to do to spice up the All-Star weekend, bringing in these young fellas that don't even belong on Sunday for the All-Star weekend. So here's what my man was saying.
This goes, I'm coaching some team, and she's right, some team that no one wants to see. Oh, man. I had to work so hard.
And that's some team he's talking about. Candace Parker was coaching that fourth team, and this is the team with the youngsters on it that was on there that was playing Sunday.
And this goes, I'm coaching some team, and she's right, some team that no one wants to see. Oh, man. I had to work so hard to play on Sunday night of All-Star Weekend. And because ratings are down, because the game's bad, we're bringing in Rising Stars. That's not a fix. I never played in the Rising Stars game. My first 2 years, I didn't touch that game. And these guys get to touch the All-Star floor on Sunday night? Like when the floor is the floor? In America, the president has Air Force One, right? Yeah. They have several of those planes. It's only Air Force One if the president is on it. That's the All-Star floor. You have the court, you have the events. It's a nice looking court. When All-Stars are on the court, now it's the All-Star court. Those guys did not make the All-Star team. To be playing in the All-Star game and you did not make the All-Star team is absurd. And
the amount of money to defend me over half.
And I was kind of piggybacking off of Draymond Green and some of the things I was saying. I had posted on Twitter. Is just talking about, I have been saying about LBJ. LeBron, I give that man credit. He's done a lot of great things, but we also have to look back and think they started a trend where these cats don't even want to go to work. Kobe laced them up every day, went to work. Now they get this load management thing where, they could decide, they can say, I got an injury or I'm sore and all this stuff, and it's called the load, it's called load management, but they, saying they got a soreness or injury or whatever they're trying to say. And it's just happening throughout the NBA. And I know LeBron was kind of like a trendsetter for that. And then Kawhi had went through that whole spiel when he was off for some time. And so he just been a trendsetter for a lot of things that where players just taking off. They don't want to play in the All-Star break. They don't do this. They're not going to do that. And there's no real accountability. They getting paid. They making way more money nowadays. Think about it. They making so much money nowadays than the Jordans and the Oscar Robinsons. And them dudes was out there playing and doing their thing. And now you got, so this woke, everybody talking about the woke. So LeBron woke up this thing or whatever was going on. And I get it. We want to innovate, improve the process, improve things. I get that. But what job can you have where you don't have to show up when you still get paid? So, if you're working from remote, you're working hybrid, but you're still working. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like you just off. You ain't being productive. Ain't too many jobs you can keep and do that. And it's the same thing. They making these salaries, and they kind of cheating the fans because fans come to a game to see them, and they not in suit, in a uniform. They not on the court. And that's just a big thing right now. But I played some clips. I always like to squeeze in clips in between this, so that's how I do it. But it just makes for good conversation. You just want to dissect and this whole thing with the NBA, and it all spilled over from the All-Star weekend on them starting to talk about how the ratings are down and all that good stuff. Just in summary, we want to see what it do, you know, try to see how the NBA can do some different things. And so I'm sure Adam Silver probably gonna get a team of people, if not already, trying to work on what they could do to change ratings. That's how they came up with this format for the All-Star Weekend. But I just want to wrap it up. So I always say, if this has been helpful, somewhat entertaining, informative, whatever you want to call it, but even just chiming in, just listening to, I appreciate that. Anything you can give as far as the likes or subscribe, you know, we just had discussions on things, so that's what it's about to me. So if you can hit the like button, subscribe, I appreciate that. But until we do this again, I'm gonna check y'all out later, and peace out. Rolling.